This is our fifth lecture from Biomolecules. I am Savita Mure from Arts, Commerce and Science College, Nasik Road. In this part, we are going to study mechanism of enzyme action, then lock and key model, induced fit model, factors affecting enzyme activity, and metabolic pool, secondary metabolites. Mechanism of enzyme action. The basic mechanism by which enzymes catalyze chemical reactions begins with binding of the substrate or the substrates to the active site on the enzyme. The active site is the specific region of the enzyme which combines with the substrate. So what is active site? It is the specific region of the enzyme where the substrate combines. It is called as active site. Mechanism of enzyme action. The basic mechanism by which enzymes catalyze chemical reaction begins with the binding of the substrate to the active sites on the enzyme. The active site is the specific region of the enzyme which combines with the substrate, which is shown in the diagram. The binding of the substrate to the enzyme causes changes in the distribution of the electrons in the chemical bonds of the substrate and ultimately cause the reaction. So how this reaction is caused? By changes in the distribution of electrons in the chemical bonds of the substrate, and that leads to the formation of products. The products are released from the enzyme surface to regenerate the enzyme for another reaction cycle. There are two models to explain the mechanism of forming enzyme substrate complex as shown in this diagram. First one is lock and key model. See, lock and key model. The specific action of an enzyme with a single substrate can be explained using lock and key analogy, first postulated in 1894 by Emil Fischer. In this analogy, the lock is enzyme and key is the substrate. So see carefully in the diagram, only the corrected size key, that is substrate, fits into the keyhole active site of the lock enzyme. Here in this diagram you see active site of the enzyme and substrate, that is sucrose. This sucrose fits into the enzyme. Enzyme is called as lock is the enzyme and key is the substrate. So they fits together. Here enzyme substrate complex is formed. When they fit together, why it is called lock and key model? Because lock is enzyme and substrate is key. They fits together to form enzyme substrate complex, and they release together to release from each other, and when they release, product is formed like glucose and fructose. Enzyme is released free for another chemical reaction. Now see another model, that is induced fit model or flexible model. Koshland in 1959 proposed the induced fit theory, which states that approach of substrate induces a conformational change in the enzyme. It is the more accepted model to understand mode of action of enzyme. Unlike the lock and key model, the induced fit model shows that enzymes are rather flexible structure in which the active site continually reshapes by its interaction with the substrate until the time the substrate is completely bound to it. It is also the point at which the final form and shape of the enzyme is determined. So in this diagram, complex flexible model, you can see enzyme plus substrate, enzyme and substrate combines together and it helps to release product, and enzyme separately. Enzyme which is released is used in another reaction. Factors affecting enzyme activity. Concentration of substrate. Increase in the substrate concentration gradually increases the velocity of enzyme activity. Within the limited range of substrate level, a rectangular hyperbola is obtained uh, when velocity is plotted against the substrate concentration. Three distinct phases A, B and C of the reaction are observed in the graph. So in this graph you see three distinct phases A, B and C, where V is measured velocity. You can see in the graph V is the measured velocity, V max is maximum velocity and S is substrate concentration, Km is Michaelis-Menten constant. Km or the Michaelis-Menten constant is defined as the substrate concentration expressed in moles per liter to produce half of the maximum velocity in an enzyme catalyzed reaction. It indicates that half of the enzyme molecules, that is 50%, are bound with substrate molecule when the substrate concentration equals with Km value. Km value is a constant. Km value is a constant and characteristic feature of a given enzyme. It is a representative for measuring the strength of enzyme substrate complex. A low Km value indicates a strong affinity between enzyme and substrate, whereas high Km value reflects a weak affinity between them. For majority of enzymes, the Km value are in range of 10 raised to 5 to 10 raised to 2 moles. Now see enzyme concentration. The rate of an enzymatic reaction is directly proportional to the concentration of the substrate. The rate of reaction is also directly proportional to the square root of the concentration of enzymes. It means that rate of reaction also increases with increasing concentration of enzyme. As the rate of concentration of enzyme increases, the rate of reaction also increases, and the rate of reaction can also decrease by decreasing the concentration of enzyme. So on the rate of concentration of enzyme, the rate of reaction depends. So in this graph you can see product concentration and time with 2 times enzyme, and when the rate of concentration of an enzyme increases, you can see increase in the rate of reaction. When the rate of concentration of enzyme decreases, the rate of reaction also decreases, and when enzymes are not present, here the rate of reaction decreases. Now see next factor, temperature. The enzymatic reaction occurs best at or around 37 degrees Celsius, which is the average normal body temperature in homeotherms. Homeotherms, these are the organisms in which the normal body temperature is 37 degrees Celsius. The rate chemical reaction is increased by rise in temperature, but this is true only over a limited range of temperature. Enzymes rapidly denature at temperature above 40 degree. Means its activity of enzyme takes place when 37 degrees Celsius temperature is there, As the temperature increases, that is above 40 degree, enzyme becomes inactive or it becomes denatured. So in this graph, rate of reaction is also shown. Temperature like 0, 10, 20, 30, 40. You can see here 40 is the optimum temperature with increasing enzyme activity is at optimum temperature. As the temperature increases, that is when it increases above 40 degree, enzyme becomes denatured. Now see effects of pH. Another factor, that is pH. Similar to temperature, there is also pH at which an enzyme will catalyze. pH is hydrogen potential. So on the basis of hydrogen ions pH we can explain at which an enzyme will catalyze the reaction at the maximum rate. Every enzyme has different optimum pH value. The enzyme cannot perform its function beyond the range of its pH value. So in previous slide we had seen different types of enzyme which takes part in digestion, in stomach, in intestine. So on the basis of acidity or alkaline nature, here enzymes are active. So different types of enzyme have different optimum pH value. Enzyme cannot perform its function beyond the range of its pH value. Now see the concept of metabolism. Metabolism is the sum of the chemical reactions that take place within each cell of living organism and provides energy for vital processes, that is for respiration, digestion, all these are vital processes, and for synthesizing new organic material. It involves continuous process of breakdown and synthesis of biomolecules through chemical reactions. Each of the metabolic reaction results in transformation of biomolecules. Most of these metabolic reactions do not occur in isolation, that is in separate form, but they are always linked with some other reactions. In living systems, cells are work center. In living systems, cells are work centers where metabolism involves two following types of pathways, that is catabolic pathway and anabolic pathway. Catabolic pathway leads to the formation of simpler structure from complex biomolecules. Example, when we eat wheat, bread or chapati, our gastrointestinal tract digests or hydrolyzes the starch to glucose unit with help of enzyme and releases energy to form in the form of ATP, that is adenosine triphosphate. Anabolic pathway is called biosynthetic pathway that involves formation of more complex biomolecules from simpler structure. Example, synthesis of glycogen from glucose and protein from amino acid. So anabolic is building up and catabolic is breaking down. So, in building up, from simpler to complex molecules are formed, while in catabolic, from complex to simple molecules are formed. So, these are the two pathways, catabolic and anabolic. In catabolic, from complex to simple, while in anabolic, from complex, it is building up, that is from simple to complex. Synthesis of glycogen from glucose. Glycogen is complex while glucose is simple. So in this way you have to remember catabolic is breaking down or from complex to simple molecules are formed, while anabolic is building up, that is from simple to complex molecules are formed. Metabolic pool. It is the reservoir of biomolecules in the cell on which enzymes can act to produce useful products as per the need of the cell. The concept of metabolic pool is significant in cell biology because it allows one type of molecule to change into another type. Example, carbohydrates can be converted to fats and vice versa, that is, fats can be broken down into carbohydrates. Catabolic chemical reactions of glycolysis and Krebs cycle only provides ATP, but also makes available metabolic pool of biomolecules that can be utilized for synthesis of many important cellular components. So, the balance between catabolism and anabolism maintains homeostasis. Homeostasis means to maintain the steady state. It is called as homeostasis. In this chart, you can see carbohydrates, glycogen, starch, they are broken down into simple substances, glucose, and it releases energy. Lipids or triglycerides, they are broken down to form glycerol and fatty acid, and it also releases energy. Proteins break down to form amino acid. Along with this, carbon dioxide, hydrogen, and urea are also produced. While anabolic reactions like glucose is the simple substance. It is converted to form glycogen. You know, glycogen is stored in liver. Whenever there is less amount of energy in our body, this glycogen which is present in the liver is broken down into glucose. In anabolic, glucose is synthesized to form glycogen. Glycerol and fatty acid combines together to form triglycerides. Amino acids are linked to each other by peptide bond to form proteins. So these are catabolic and anabolic reactions. Secondary metabolites. Secondary metabolites are obtained from secondary metabolism. Primary metabolism forms starch, sugar, etc. But secondary metabolism are small organic molecules produced by organisms that are not essential for their growth, development, and reproductions. Several types of bacteria, fungi, and plants produce secondary metabolism. Photosynthesis is primary metabolism from which starch is obtained. But in certain organisms like bacteria, fungi, plants, secondary metabolism occurs. Secondary metabolites can be classified on containing rings, sugar, composition with or without nitrogen, their solubility in various solvents or the pathways by which they are synthesized. Phenylpropanide produces tannin. A simple way of classifying secondary metabolites includes three main groups, such as terpenes, made from mevaloonic acid that is composed mainly of carbon and hydrogen. Phenolics, made from simple sugar containing benzene ring, hydrogen, and oxygen. Terpenes, formed from mevaloonic acid that is composed mainly of carbon and hydrogen. Phenolics, made from simple sugar containing benzene sugar, hydrogen and oxygen. Nitrogen containing compounds. Extremely diverse class may also contain sulfur. So these are secondary metabolites from natural sources have made a significant contribution for millennia. In modern medicine, drugs developed from secondary metabolites have been used to treat infectious diseases, cancer, hypertension, and inflammation. For example, for cancer treatment, anti-cancer drugs are obtained from the secondary metabolite obtained from uh, Vinca rosea, or it is also called as Catharanthus roseus. Vincristine and vinblastine are the secondary metabolites obtained from this plant for treatment of cancer. Morphine was first alkaloid isolated from plant Papaver somniferum. It is used as pain reliever and cough suppressant. Secondary metabolites like alkaloids, nicotine and cocaine and the terpenes, cannabinol are widely used for recreation and stimulation. So, the secondary metabolites like alkaloids, nicotine, cocaine, terpenes, cannabinol are used for recreation and stimulation. Flavors of secondary metabolites improve our food preferences. Characteristic flavors and aroma of cabbage and its relatives are caused by nitrogen and sulfur containing chemicals. Glucosinolates protect this plant from many pests. Tannins are added to wines and chocolate for improving astringency. Tannins are also used to form leather from animal hide. Since most of the secondary metabolites are having antibiotic property, they are also used as food preservative. So these are the economic importance of secondary metabolites.